Tyrion Lannister has been treated like a second-class son ever since he was born a dwarf, but now that he's married Sansa Stark, how many sons is he going to have with her? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment, here to review Game of Thrones Season 3, Episode 8, and this one is called Second Sons.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is going to be the one to kill the first Walker? That's you, Samuel Tarly, not someone worth a damn.
Yes, one White Walker down, and it was Samwell Tarly that did the damage. Who would have thunk it? We thought the piggy was about to get turned into bacon, but in the end, he cooked the White Walker, he defeated the White Walker, he killed the White Walker, smashed it into a million glass pieces, a million ice pieces, and yeah, just Samwell Tarly, we'd never seen him do anything like this, we never thought he was capable of this, but the episode pretty much ends with him standing tall, and for me, not a good idea, because if Samwell Tarly is capable of killing one, then how dominant, how dangerous can these things be? Now, we've got to look in mind that the White Walker didn't try to kill him. The White Walker was more interested in the baby, and he did attack it from behind, and we also seen at the end of Season 2, the White Walkers just walked past Samwell Tarly, so maybe they look at him, maybe it's a disrespect thing, and they don't think this guy is a threat, maybe they don't think he's dangerous, maybe they just look at this guy and see a fat boy. I don't know why, but the White Walkers can't seem to kill Samwell Tarly, or they don't seem to want to kill Samwell Tarly, but Tarly is 1-0 up against them.
He is 1-0 up. Maybe he's got that aura, he's got that star power, but you're right, it's like if this fat kid, who is deemed not even good enough for the wall, right, which is a bunch of misfits and whatever, if he can kill a White Walker, and this is like the leader guy that was on the horse, so if he can kill the leader of the White Walker, or any White Walker, what's his big threat? Oh, Ned Stark, man, in Season 1, all the rest of them.
Winter's coming.
You know, his brother's away, he's like, oh, that the wall's there, there's this 2,000 feet block of ice, you know what, to protect us from them, because they're so scared. Why not just send Samwell Tarly over then?
One-man band.
But anyway, forget about that.
In the Riverlands.
We'll gallop on a horse.
Yeah, now, Sandor Clegane is with Arya Stark. He lifts her on top of his horse, and he couldn't lift Samwell. Imagine a poor horse having to carry the mountain and Samwell at the same time.
Well, I mean, god damn, that horse.
Yeah, Arya had the chance to bash Sandor's head in after he kidnapped her from the Brotherhood Without Banners. He tells her that you better make it count, because I'm going to go up and I'm going to beat the shit out of you, essentially. And she decides against it. Then he lifts her on top of the horse, and they ride off to the wedding. Sandor says, "You're lucky it was me that found you, not some other people. There's people worse than me." Arya says, "Nobody's worse than you." And the Mountain's like, "Well, no, this isn't the Mountain, this is the Hound." The Hound's like, "Well, you never seen my brother." And, I mean, that's a good point. Maybe Arya Stark's just dumb or inexperienced, but there's way worse people than the Mountain.
This guy's not even bad. Like,
no.
Obviously, she thinks he's bad. He killed the Butcher's boy, and he was a part of Joffrey's regime, right, whatever, for a wee while there. But if he was bad, he would have done something bad since then. It's a simple. You can clearly see this as a guy that's remorseful, and you know he's very regretful of what he done in the past.
Yeah, definitely, and he's trying to make up for it. And he also tells her that he did save Sansa, and I mean he's right. Like a lot of men would have found Arya Stark and would have had their way with her. Like, so the fact that he's not done anything like that, she should be smart enough to know straight away that he's not that bad.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Now, is he a dangerous man in terms of his ability and the fact he can kill, and he has taken orders from, you know, powerful people to kill you? And absolutely, but is he necessarily a bad man? I'm not convinced.
No, he's not a bad man. I mean, is he a good man? Not by the letter of the law, but is he a good guy? Is he on the good guy's side? Well, appears to be.
Is he an honourable man? I would go as far as saying yes.
Yes, you see, it's like
if Ned Stark's the highest, if you've got a meter and Ned Stark is full, max, honourable, who's the opposite way? Who's dishonourable to the max?
Oh, dishonourable to the max?
If you've got honourable 100 and dishonourable 100, then who's the opposite of Ned Stark?
I mean, it's hard to say. I don't think I don't honestly. I don't think there's anyone as dishonourable as Ned Stark is honourable, because he was just that honourable.
Like a Lannister, or maybe
I'd probably say
Littlefinger.
I'd maybe say like a Cersei or a Littlefinger. They are very dishonourable. They will just do anything to get their own way.
Tyrion's not dishonourable.
No, I'd say he's way more honourable than he is dishonourable.
Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Arya and the Hound, they're on their way. We're in Yunkai, and I just don't really want to talk about Yunkai. There's nothing really happening here. There's 3 new mercenaries. You've got the main one who's a bit vulgar, and he basically just says that he wants to sleep with Daenerys. Who does? And that's pretty much it.
Do you not think this makes her look weak, though? Because this guy's basically just berating her in front of all of our, captains, or whatever you want to call them, lieutenants. And, they're like, here, do you want us to kill him? And she's like, no, but it's like, see if Ned Stark was here, right? We always bring up Ned Stark. But say he was, like, the hand to Daenerys here. Do you think he'd fucking stand for this talk?
No.
I don't think anyone would even speak like this around Ned Stark. Not a chance.
Not the honourable Ned Stark. So that night, the 3 of them are going to draw coins, and whoever gets they come up with a plan that they're going to kill Daenerys in her sleep, because she has 8,000 unsullied and they only have about 2,000, and therefore they're outnumbered. Now, are the unsullied as good a fighters as these guys, the Second Sons? I don't know. But they've got 3 coins, and whoever gets the coin from Bravos will kill the Queen. So that's kind of the plan here. And in the end, it is Dario Naharis that gets the coin, but he doesn't do it. He instead sneaks into the camp at night, and he approaches Daenerys, and he just throws his bag at her, and it's got the heads of his other 2 lieutenants, or his colonels, or whatever they are, and he says, well, I wasn't going to kill you, I didn't want to kill you, and they basically made it a choice between you or them, so I made it sure it was them. If that's the case, so why did he even participate in the coin picking? Why didn't he just say then?
Yeah, because he's supposed to be honourable. He wouldn't lie to their face.
So was he happy with Daenerys dying? He just didn't want to be the one to do it.
Yeah, but then there's extreme lengths to go to when they're trying to force you to do it. But then if you're willing to play in the game,
but he also says that he doesn't fight for money. He fights for beauty.
If he's willing to be in the game, then he should have been willing to kill her at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's like you can't place a bet for £100 and then the bet loses and you go, I don't like gambling. I'm not. Yeah. I'm not paying up. That doesn't. What the hell? Anyway,
Daenerys' army is they're adding names here.
Yeah, they're adding names, and that's how you have an army, isn't it? Because without names, what have you got?
Nothing.
Just a bunch of unsullied.
Just people.
Just people.
I need names.
Background characters.
I need
props.
Names.
Anyway, what's this do for you, Yunkai?
Nothing, but here. I don't think that this guy seemed alright, but I don't know. It is what it is. Let's get them on a boat and let's get them somewhere relevant, please.
Oh, look, we've got the Second Sons. These guys could be good. 2 of them are dead. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Dragonstone, Miss Landry arrives back with Gendry. She shows Gendry to Stannis. Here we go. This guy's got your blood. This is the man that you need right here to win the war. So Gendry, obviously now he knows that he is the son of Robert Baratheon. And basically Miss Landry just sweet talks him and puts him over. Your dad was a good guy. He chose to sleep with your mother. You've got the blood of a king inside you.
Roberto Baratheon. And, you've got also Davos in here as well. I like the fact that Davos, he can't read books, but he can read Stannis, because he knew Stannis was down there, basically asking for his counsel.
Yeah, so Stannis goes down and asking for his counsel without asking for it. Stannis doesn't know what to do. He wants to be king. He doesn't want to sacrifice the bastard boy, but if sacrificing one boy is going to save a lot of men, women and children in Westeros, then it's worth it. But Davos says, hey, Stannis, that boy's innocent. So, yeah, but, it is what it is.
No, it is.
Davos can't really do much because he is locked up in this like cell. But then Stannis is like, "I'm freeing you. You're a free man."
As long as you don't raise your hand to Miss Elandria, then you're all right, big man.
And Davos promises to not do that. So
he doesn't do it. So we'll see how that goes. But I mean, they're talking about the magic, and I don't know. Like, where does the line get drawn at the magic?
yeah, we don't really know. Later on, Miss Elandria then seduces Gendry, gets him into a bed, ties him up, then gets leeches out and puts the leeches on his body. Stannis then walks in with Davos, and she's like, "Here, I'm going to explain the power. Here is the demonstration." While Gendry's getting the blood sucked out of him, essentially. Davos and Stannis watch on. She then takes the leeches off of Gendry, and she throws them in to this like fire pit. It looks like a barbecue grill or something.
It really did.
I don't know what it was, but she throws the leeches in, and she mentions the names. She recites the names of 3 people that Stannis wants dead. Those names: Robb Stark, Balon Greyjoy, and Joffrey Baratheon.
Not the 3 names I would have went for.
Now, I mean, you can kind of see why he's went with these names, because, I mean, Joffrey's the king, Robb Stark's the guy competing for the king, trying to become the new king, and then I guess you got Balon Greyjoy, who, I mean, it was trying to betray Robb and maybe take it for himself. So I get it. Why he wants these...
Balon Greyjoy is the one that sticks out like a sore thumb. As much as I don't think Robb Stark makes sense, especially... I mean, I'm sure Stannis must have some word about how Robb Stark's, forces...
But, like, are you telling me that Stannis wouldn't think there'd be more benefit? Let's say you gave Stannis a wish and you say you can kill any 3 people. Are you telling me that Stannis doesn't believe that there's more important people that he could kill, more valuable people than Balon? Like, what about a Lannister? Doesn't matter which one.
Like Joffrey, Cersei, and Tywin. Boom. Straight in there.
Or Tyrion, who was the brains behind the battle at Blackwater.
But see, it's not explained very well here, right? And I can just pick holes for it. Like, why doesn't she just whip out like 100 leeches?
Oh yeah.
Like, well, why can't it be quickly explained here? Like, oh, don't you know, Davos? We can only do 3 at a time. That is the riddle of the light god. Or it's like, all right, that makes a wee bit of sense.
And also, Robb Stark doesn't even really want the crown. He's happy being king of the North.
Yeah.
But I guess Stannis wants everything for himself. But, I mean, Robb Stark's father, Ned, said that Stannis was the right true heir to be the king. So I was like, why is that?
But see,
to me, it made no sense. I mean, Robb Stark wanted to team up with... I don't know. It seemed dumb that out of the 3 most people that Stannis could want dead, I don't think it makes sense Robb Stark to be one of them.
Say Joffrey dies, right, for this poison manoeuvre. It's like, what does it really do, though? Tywin just takes his place, doesn't he?
Yeah, then
why doesn't he gets it if Joffrey dies then?
Why doesn't Miss Elandria then just get another couple of leeches and be like, right, Tywin
Yeah,
Lannister?
It's like, where do you draw the line at this, right?
Well, it'd be the hand of the king, so it would be him.
Yeah, but you're right though, where do you draw the line? It's like, I said in the video, like, well, if you're going to kill Renly in that way, why can't you just kill Joffrey in that way? Oh, but distance, dumbass. Well, the fucking they rode up their boats right up to King's Landing. Could tell me Davos couldn't have snuck her in the back.
And plus, she turned into like a demon form, so she could sneak in anyway.
I just don't like this black magic shit. I don't. Like, see if they're going to kill Robb Stark, that Greyjoy and Joffrey, I would rather them like poison their drinks. Like 3 people at 3 different locations poison them. That's realistic. That can happen. See this magic pish halfway across the map, 360 no scope. What's this?
What is it? Anyway, King's Landing, we're getting a wedding. Tyrion and Sansa are getting wedded. Marjorie says that her and Cersei are going to be sisters soon. Cersei tells her, if you ever tell me sister again, I'll kill you. And then she brings up a story of the reigns of Castamere, basically using parallels that there used to be a house that were rising to the 2nd richest and they wanted to be the first, and then they ended up getting killed by her father. And that's going to be the same thing that's happening to the Tyrells. We then get Loris Tyrell. He tries to have a conversation with his soon-to-be wife. He starts up with, "My father used to say," and Cersei just turns around and says, "Nobody cares what your father used to say," and walked off. And I mean, that's going to be a happy marriage, isn't it?
No, it's definitely going to be a happy marriage, but I feel like with Joffrey, they just turned up to 1,000 here. Like, see, I actually think Joffrey's been pretty tolerable this season.
Yeah, he has been. So we get the wedding, and Joffrey then walks Sansa down, says, "Well, your dad can't do it because he's dead. I killed him." Then he takes away Tyrion's little stools, so Tyrion can't like stand up and look at Sansa on eye level, and he can't put the cloak around her either. So that was a dickhead move. They're then getting wine that night. They're drinking. Tyrion's drunk. Tywin doesn't like the fact that he's drunk. Joffrey makes a speech about how Tyrion needs to go and put babies inside Sansa, and Tyrion stabs his dagger down on the table and says he's going to cut off your cock, which he didn't like. Joffrey couldn't believe that he was threatened like this, but then Tywin just stands in and he just diffuses the whole situation. "Well, your uncle didn't mean it."
He had a little bit too much to drink. You also, the whole Joffrey like threatening to rape Sansa. It's like honestly, I feel like that's out of character for Joffrey.
Well, he did literally just kill someone last episode, didn't he? Or 2 episodes ago. Rose.
I don't know.
I mean, that's the guy that tortures people for fun. Asked that guy, pick your hands or your tongue. I mean, what one do you want to keep? And so it's not like Joffrey's a nice guy, he's an arsehole.
No, he's not a nice guy, but
I just think we've seen in the early half of season 3 that Margaery, he's trying to maybe be nice around her to get her to like
maybe
him.
That, yeah, and I feel like that's it. Like I said, they've just turned it up. Like, oh, by the way, Joffrey is an arsehole. So when he potentially goes out the window, we'll be like, yes.
Yeah, it looks like he's just given up on he didn't even care about it. Even Cersei's like, "Why don't you go and speak to your future wife?" And he's like, "Nah, I don't want to do that. I want to torment my ex-wife."
Yeah.
Or soon-to-be ex-wife, or whatever, or almost was ex-wife. So, then Tyrion gets back to his bed chambers, and he doesn't sleep with Sansa. He said he can't do it.
"You're 14. Take a seat right over there. What brings you here tonight?"
Yeah, he says...
Right.
He says, "I won't share your bed until you want me to," and Sansa says, What if I never want you to share my bed?" And then he just like throws himself on the little seat and falls asleep. Next day, Shay walks in, checks the bed, doesn't think they slept together, and I guess this cheers her up a little bit, but I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day, but where's this going in the fucking long term? Like, what? I mean, what's Tywin going to do in like a year's time or a month's time when she's not pregnant?
Yeah, I mean, sooner or later, Tywin's going to ask questions. Beyond the wall, we've got Samwell Tarly and Gilly. I just don't care for this. They build a little fire. He can't build one, so Gilly has to build one. He keeps fucking badgering her to name the baby, and it's like, it's not your baby, who cares?
I know.
I don't want to keep calling it. Maybe you should give it a name. Have you thought of this name? Have you thought of that name?
And she says Craster and arse went, No, I don't want to name it Craster. We don't want to do that.
No, he didn't really mind Craster. It was Randall. It's that father. Craster's heard that.
Yeah, but he can't. His face dropped though at Craster as well.
Please don't call him that.
Don't want to call him that.
So we get that.
He's like whipping out big words like super intensious and it's like super stenchal. It's like, what, really in there, Big Sam?
You know, he might whip out big words, but he's never had me fully loaded with big interest in him. That's for sure. No. There's crows and stuff, and then they hear them. They're getting watched. They can hear something. It turns out it's a White Walker. Samwell goes out with like a fucking wooden stick or something like that. Don't know what he was attempting to do, but was it wooden stick?
No, it was pure silver, my friend. Or steel, even not silver. It was steel.
All right. Well, you know what? So the Walker just grabs it. He grabs the sword or whatever, dagger, with his hand, and then he just like swipes Samwell to the side. Then he tries to go into the cabin and take the baby, eat the baby, whatever these Walkers do with baby boys. But Samwell then stabs it in the back and it just dies. It literally fucking dies. It just like folds into a lot of pieces, and then the crows are crowing, ha, 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 whatever a crow does.
See this though, right?
But no, I don't get it. It's like, Why did the walker grab the sword and nothing happened, but then it gets impaled? It's like, you'd think if it was that allergic or, you know, a sword did that sort of damage, that the walker, like, grabbing the sword with his hand would have caused his hand to shatter or something.
See if you sat me down at season 1, episode 1, when you first get introduced to these characters and the White Walkers, and you said to me, who's going to be the first guy to kill a White Walker? I would have stuck everything I owned on Jon Snow. See the beginning of this season, of season 2, Jon Snow. How the hell have we came to this guy?
Well, technically, did Jon Snow not technically kill the first one? When it came back into the camp and they thought it was dead and it came back on. But then again, they kind of look different, don't they?
I know what you mean.
This was a White Walker that was made of like ice. Those other ones kind of look like human form. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
You know, yeah, that didn't end the episode. The fact that this ended the episode, they wanted this to be... This was like the leader of the White Walkers. You're right, though. Maybe there's a difference between just becoming...
Either way, I mean...
believe it was him that did it.
To me, the White Walkers lose a lot of credibility.
Yeah.
And they lose this big feeling of threat that they bring when Samwell Tarly kills one. But yeah, that's my opinion. This episode, I thought it was better than the last one.
You're right, though. It's always going to... Like, say the White Walkers kill... I don't know who it means. Say the White Walkers kill Jaime Lannister, right?
You're going to be like, how did Jaime Lannister die, but Samwell Tarly didn't?
It's always going to be, but how did that... Yeah, I'll give this one a 7. I thought it was better than the last one.
Yeah, I'm going to get a 7 as well. Just Beyond the Wall does nothing for me. I like the King's Landing stuff, though.
Yeah.
The wedding was pretty decent, so aye. Anyway, guys, 7 out of 10. We'll catch you in the next one. Till then, who's going to be the next character to kill a White Walker? Who are you guessing? Who are you going for? And why? Or maybe not even why, but just pick somebody. I mean, it has to be somebody beyond the wall, doesn't it, realistically?
Yeah.
It's not going to be somebody that's not beyond the wall.
I'm going to go Jon Snow.
Jon Snow's a good shout.
Aye, Jon Snow is a good shout. Has to be Jon.
It could be Jon, like, it could be Big John. I'll go Jon as well, why not? Imagine it was Samwell Tarly, he goes 2-0.
Undertaker streak built up against the White Walkers.
Anyway, guys, that's it. Catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.